Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome to the first episode, first installment of my Eval to Payout series, where I'm going to be documenting the journey of getting an Eval, getting funded, and then finally getting a payout. I'm going to be as transparent as possible, showing my wins, my losses, everything every single day. So this is the first episode. We're going to go with Lucid for this challenge, or the first time we do this challenge. And I'm pretty much just going to try to explain my thought processes every time I'm trading. Risk management, how much I'm risking per trade, etc. And yeah, I'll quickly just talk about what I like to do when I trade evals. Is we're going to be doing a 50k eval. I have a couple other evals that I'm trading, but I'm going to be doing those differently. But we're just going to be focusing on the 50k for this specific challenge. And this is how I recommend trading evals. I like to risk 1% per trade. So on a 50k account, we're risking around $500 per trade. This allows us to, hit nice 1 to 2 RRs and pass it relatively quickly. I know a lot of people like to full port, try pass it in 1 or 2 trades, which yes, you can do it. And I've done that plenty of times with CPI, etc. But I want to showcase actual genuine trading throughout the series rather than just, luck and, passing an eval, because that doesn't help you get payouts. So yeah, we risk around 500. However, when we take losses, it depends and we scale it. We scale down from there. So let's say we took our first trade and it was a loss, which it actually was today. So we're going to talk about that. The next time we trade, until we get it back to the threshold, or our highest point, we then scale down. We risk around 300. And this just gives us the highest possible chance of getting funded. Right, because I know 100% with this strategy, if I trade it right, if I follow my rules, eventually we will be in the green and we will have the 3k profit target, which is what it is. And then obviously we can't go below the 2k drawdown limit, and I think it's a 1.5k end of day daily limit as well. So that's that. You'll learn more about it as we trade. But yeah, today was actually frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. Today was very frustrating. We did take an L, so it's a poor start on the eval, but it was a very low risk trade just because we missed the draw. So when I say we missed the draw, as you can see here, let me see if I can just go back to market open just so we can watch it all play out. But yeah, so you can see market opened around 30, and we actually swept equal lows, and then as well, look on the 15-minute, if this loads, you can see we are sweeping protected lows on the 15-minute. And then we had a nice little inverse here that I decided not to take. It just wasn't as clear for me. There was no short-term liquidity sweep, but it would have been a nice little trade right off of market open. You can see that. But the real trade that a lot of the community took, and the one that I missed, well, I didn't really miss it, I just chose not to enter into this trade, was after sweeping this buy side liquidity, we had a nice move down. The nicer entry was on the 30-second, but I don't trade 30-second, so we're not going to talk about that. And basically the main draw of today, we were definitely 1,000,000% bearish. If I just show you on the 4-hour, we've got the weekly low. We've also got London session low, Asia low, and then yesterday's New York session low as well. On the daily time frame, you can see we've got the we've got a daily gap below as well, right? And I've been waiting for us to kind of move down past these lows for a while now. So that was the main draw. Very easy draw liquidity. Like, everyone had the same targets today. Very simple. And yeah, we were looking for shorts down to that. And if we let this play out, you see it was just a very nice trade. Very nice trade indeed. It just didn't look that good on the 1 minute, right? And because I don't trade the 30-second time frame, we didn't get the conviction that we wanted to take this trade. So I didn't take it. Again, we're not fast. We're not too fast. But from here on onwards, because we've taken our main draw of the day, typically we're going to start moving a bit more choppy. We've already dumped like 300 points from market open. So, you know, we don't expect much movement from here on out. We expect to move sideways a bit. But I did try to catch some other things throughout the day. So I'll go ahead and show you. The first one was we tried to enter on like a little 3 minute. Let me actually just get rid of this now. There we go. So the first one was here. I'll show you. This one we waited. We looked for a 1 minute and 2 minute entry, but we couldn't find it. We ended up settling on this 3 minute inverse right here. And it was a good trade. It was a good trade. I waited for the confirmation that we were starting to trade higher. We got the inverse and I wanted to target those highs, but we got stopped out break even. We went break even at the open of this bearish fair value gap here. So no money lost on that one, just break even trade. I still wanted that though. I still wanted something like that. My conviction was still there for that kind of setup. We then went down, we swept this sell side liquidity, very nice kind of V shape. And then we got another 3 minute entry right here. But honestly, I could not tell you what happened there. Obviously, you know, when the draw is taken of the day and there's not much left to target, you do often see price do ridiculous things. But yeah, you can see here, we just hit an invisible wall and just completely took us out, which is fine because we did not risk. Usually I will risk 500 per trade, but because we missed our draw, and you'll see once we go over the analytics of the account in a minute, you'll see that we only risked around 300, 350. So yeah, this is just incredibly unfortunate. On the 1 minute, I hoped we would kind of use this bullish fair value gap here to kind of support this move up. I thought maybe we'll trade like a continuation, but unfortunately no. We just we just smoked smoked our stop loss. But yeah, we didn't really react off anything. We got a nice inverse. Maybe I should have taken the signs that after failing this inverse we would fade again, but again, is what it is. Not crazy, not upset about that at all. We had the right ideas for today, the bearish you know, the bearish bias, etc. And then obviously when I finished trading though, I did, because I hopped off after that loss. I didn't want to tilt, didn't want to overtrade. There's no need. But we did get a really, really nice looking setup. So after sweeping these lows here, we got a really nice kind of like a AMD model. So, you know, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, kind of. So we got a little chop around here. We manipulated this leg and then we kind of distributed up. So you could kind of call that an AMD Power 3. So very nice indeed. And we're literally just riding these all the way back up to these highs up there. So yeah, that would have been a really, really nice trade. But again, don't want to overtrade. I don't really trade this far into the New York session anyway. And chances are actually this would have been a break even depending on what I entered on. So on the 2 minute, yeah, it would have been a break even trade anyway, now that I think about it. So yeah, we would have gone break even around here. So that's that for today. So we actually lost around, I'm actually going to show you now. I'm just going to make sure everything's all good. So this is the Lucid account. Boom. So you can see here, total P&L 349. So yeah, risk around 350 rather than, you know, the normal 500. So that is the first trade of the date. It is the 24th of July, Friday. This is when I've decided to start my eval. Usually you'd start on a Monday, but that's fine. Overall for the week though, in terms of just trade setups and trading on other evals, plus fundeds and live accounts, etc., we are green on the week. But just for this challenge, we're gonna end red on the week, but we started on a Friday. So that's that. That is that. Not a problem at all. We've still got plenty of wiggle room on the drawdown. And yeah, hopefully next week is good. We'll get a couple green days. Hopefully we're green for the week. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna be as transparent as possible with this. And yeah, that's all for today.